Yep. All right. All right. Ready whenever.
Real quick.
She.
Yo, welcome to the second live episode of Trip Off This, a podcast where we talk about wild shit for y'all to trip off. That's music, politics, games, tech, really whatever we feel necessary. Josiah, yo, we didn't talk about this in our little pre-show chat, but yo, I'm going to ask you a question that I definitely know for a fact I've never asked you. But yo, how do you feel about hypnotism, dog? Do you believe in that shit?
Hypnotism? Nah. I think you gotta like want to be hypnotized for it to work, right?
Me too. That's how I feel. But like, that in the same sense, I feel like I've seen mad hypnotism demonstrations and shit. And actually, and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the people aren't faking. Like, it'd be too
They
coordinated.
like
It's
they
almost like
go
faking
through and
9/11.
choose like
Too many people would have to know about it for you to actually fake it. You know what I mean?
I've heard they pick people who are particularly perceptible or whatever. Like the people who like want to like they'll ask questions to the people, and if they don't seem like they'd be the kind of person who'd be perceptive to hypnotism, then they don't go through with it. You gotta like play along with it. Come on. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the voice in the back of my head would never allow me to be hypnotized. It'd be like, what the fuck do you think this is? Some
Me
bullshit.
too.
Like, I don't know.
I feel like I would love to try it though. Like I'm open minded to it. Like I would let someone try it. I would even like try to silence the voice in my back of the silence the voice in the back of my head that was telling me it was bullshit the whole time and like preventing me from being hypnotized. I would try to silence that. I would give it an honest go. I still don't think it would work though. I still think it's like complete bullshit.
Do you believe in God?
No.
Well, I feel like it's like a similar kind of like suspense. Like, you got to suspend your disbelief for hypnotism to work.
Yeah. You know what it is though? I actually do believe in certain hypnotism. Like I feel like if someone witnessed a traumatic ass event or some shit and their memory was fucked up, like I low key feel like you can hypnotize them into like remembering the story better or like more accurately.
Yeah. No, I think that makes sense.
Like I think like certain psychologists and like maybe like criminal hypnotists can do that shit.
I
Maybe.
feel like I would have to like do some reading on actual like
I
statistics
know.
of if that works or not, or if that's like a movie trope kind of thing.
I
It
know.
just doesn't it sound kind of fantastical? Like I feel like there would be like one application of that. Like it very rarely happens that that's what you end up doing. You
True.
hypnotize them.
And like I don't know. Maybe. Yo, is your camera turned on? I don't see you on my shit. I'm looking
Yeah.
at the logo. Maybe I'm bugging though. Um, yeah, no, I mean, I feel like maybe I just feel like hypnotism is bullshit because of like, I'm thinking of like the doctor swinging the clock back and forth. Oh, there you go. I see you now, Doug.
Right.
Going back and forth, like stare at the stopwatch and like repeat after me. I feel
Yeah.
like if you asked a real hypnotist, they'd be like, "Oh, that's just movie bullshit." Like we really do it like way more sneakily and almost like Get Out, how they like rub a spoon around the edge of a glass to like make a noise and you don't really know you're supposed to be focusing on it, but you're focusing on it because it's like obnoxious and he's like talking
Yeah.
about something else and all of a sudden you're just like I'm hypnotized.
I feel you. I don't know. You got to get a hypnotist expert to hypnotize us live in the studio
Yeah,
podcast.
we actually just need to like be actual people who are alive in 2019 and just Google the shit and find out like if it's actually a real thing or not because it's pretty. I feel like the answers are out there. Also,
No,
like
I feel like everything I've seen says no. Like an unequivocal like no if you don't believe in it, but if you're somebody who like wants to believe in that kind of shit, then it'll work.
like some of the videos are so extra, yo. Like they'll like have people on stage and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, we're hypnotizing you, and yeah, you gotta act like you're making out with like your high school crush or some shit." Like, and the person just starts like making out with the air. It's like, dude, what the fuck is happening there?
I
Are
don't
you
buy
guys
it.
actors?
I don't buy it,
It's
man.
it's
I don't
I
buy
don't buy that shit either, man.
it.
But like, I feel like it's not questioned enough. We just let it slide.
We just,
Like, what the
just
fuck?
thought. I feel like it's
As
like
a society,
WWE. We just accept that it's fake.
that's interesting. Like, like hypnotism is the WWE, like what WWE is to sports. Like hypnotism is to like mysticism and magic and shit. Like
Like
I don't know,
hypnotism is
bro.
to psychology what like
Yeah,
WWE is to any other combat
it's
sport.
fucking sport. Yeah, hell yeah. Damn that. Yo, we need to make a trip off this clothing line, yo, that has like that quote on it. Like
That long ass quote.
just
How
just
much
the
of it?
one sentence. Just hypnotism is to psychology what wrestling is to sports, what pro wrestling is to sports. Just on a t-shirt, and then on the back it just says like trip off this.
Ooh, I see. Yeah, no, that does make a
You
lot
see
of
what I'm
sense.
saying?
Yeah, no,
The
no.
shit that we
With the
say
trip
that
off this,
deserves
that
to be
makes sense. Yeah,
yeah, that
that
shit's
does
kind of
make sense.
hard, yo. That shit's kind of hard. All
I'll,
right,
I'll
we
think
got
about
mad shit
that.
to talk about though.
For real, I
Mad
gotta
shit to
start
talk
putting that
about.
shit in the headline.
I just thought that shit was funny to start on
For real.
hypnotism.
No, that's a good note. Another, I don't know. Let's break it up. Let's do something heavier and then something lighter. Uh, that Epstein dude, that shit's wild,
Mhm.
dog. That's crazy.
It's so I was actually thinking about this shit today, yo. It's like no matter how much money I had, I would never want to like buy a person. Like
That's wild.
how is
Like you
there a
get,
fucking
oh,
market for that? How? How? I was literally thinking like, damn, like if I won the Mega Millions and had like they would be so far down on my list for shit to do with my money.
I can't
Like,
imagine. Like I don't know. I feel like he's just on another level. I'd have to do more research on that guy. Like, were his parents rich? Like how long has he been super wealthy or whatever? Not that
yeah,
that makes any difference at all. I'd just be interested in knowing for like just to know like
yeah,
how. Like I was doing some research on the New York Times for some like personal stuff, and I feel like, or I don't feel like I know because I researched it, that the New York Times has been like owned by the same family for like 100 years, like 3 or 4 generations of people. I feel like since it was started, it's been in
yeah.
this. And I don't know. Do you think it's weird? This is like such a quick pivot off that. That
It's
news
whatever.
that newspapers can be owned by someone, like a single person in a way can it's like the New York company owns it and it's like a corporation or whatever, but it has been passed down through that family. Like the son of the dad always gets the lead position eventually. He always ends up at the
Yeah,
publisher, at least for these past 3 generations. And I'd imagine it's like that at other newspapers as well. I don't know. Something that's supposed to disseminate truth can be owned by a person. Like, I don't know. It's I thought that was
I
kind of
know.
weird.
I literally, it's so weird you bring that up, dude, because literally for the past like 2 days, I've been thinking about, dude, that is a problem that like I have no fucking idea how to fix that. And I was thinking about it in the context of the New York Times is an interesting one because I'm sure like that family is fucking interesting, I guess. But I was thinking about it in the context of like Bezos and like Amazon and the Washington
Mm.
Post. Like that is so fucked, yo. Like how do we prevent a
What about
billionaire?
Bezos and the Washington Post?
Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post.
No, he bought it from someone, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I believe so. I believe
Okay.
so. But and I don't think he's the sole owner, but he owns like fucking 75% of it or like 80% of it or some ridiculous number. Um, but yeah, like
Yeah.
I was thinking about that shit. And I was like, dude, like, you think the Washington Post is ever gonna? How many articles did they put out about
Amazon
how
work
much taxes?
conditions.
Yeah, or Amazon work conditions or all this shit. And
Yeah,
who's
that
to
is a
say?
little bit
Who,
that is
like,
kind
who's
of
to say fucking a pharmaceutical company like CEO isn't just fucking owns sixty
who's to
percent of
say that
some
hasn't already happened?
newspaper? I'm
Right.
100%, 100%. But then I was thinking, like, damn, like, I don't. The problem was, is I was thinking about it, and I was like, I don't even fucking know how to fix that. Like, it can't. It would be even worse for it to be like. I'm sure it's written in our laws that our government can't fucking run the media. Like, who else is supposed to do it?
Mm.
Like, if
The
not either
public,
the
it should be like
extremely.
it should be
I
public,
agree.
like a council. I don't know. It's
It
hard to
should be
say
Facebook.
because it's like I was looking up. What led me to this is I was looking up the like hierarchy of a newspaper and how it works, and that was pretty interesting to see like reporters and how it's like there's different parts of the newspaper. There's the people who actually do the reporting, and then there's the people who kind of turn the reporting into news, like news processing. And then there's like
Mhm.
the vision of it, and it goes all the way up to the publisher, who's like the one putting it out or whatever. But then above that is like the owner and like the people who like own the newspaper and really have nothing to do with it. And it's like, why are they there? Like, I don't know. Everything else in the new, it's like kind of a hierarchy and it all makes sense. But then you could just buy your way into like above the top of the hierarchy of the newspaper. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah, it's and it like it's such an it's supposed to be such an important institution in like American life that like is honest and fair. Like that's the principles that like the media and shit and news organizations and newspapers are supposed to be like built on. And it's just like, dude, but if somebody can just buy the CEO position essentially, like what fucking good is that?
yeah, yeah,
And I don't know how
that's
to fix it. How do you fix that? What do you restrict? You don't let like corporation CEOs buy
it's like any fixes
media
that
companies?
you could
Like
brainstorm, like somebody will say the term like Orwellian and they'll be like partially right.
100%.
And it's like, I
Yeah.
don't know. Like I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
fake news is awful. Like the concept of fake news is like eroding our fucking entire
Yeah.
society. And if like
Literally.
after the inevitable conflict between the fake news and the real news, like whatever that leads to, something's gonna happen. And if we emerge on the other side in one piece, we're gonna have to put like some very strict shit to make sure fake news doesn't propagate again. Because like this is a
Dude,
very cancerous thing to society, and I don't use that word lightly. Like it's like that
no,
is
literally.
exactly what it is.
Literally. Literally. Like, and that's the thing, like, dude, it's so fucked. Like, how do you these problems seem so unfixable, low key. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like just
It just it immediately stops conversation because
well,
it's like somebody could bring something to you and you could and you'll bring them like counterpoints, and then if they don't agree with it, they'll just say that it's like not true. And then that'll be the end of it.
right.
Like you aren't even having an intellectual discussion. It's just that these people just don't believe you. Like they
And
aren't
it's
talking in like good faith or whatever.
I feel like if we were doing a hardcore history episode right now, we would go back into like wasn't there a time this is about to be historically vague as fuck, but like wasn't there I'm trying to think of societies throughout history that implemented like basically honor cultures where like lying was like a capital punishment, like punishable by
Ooh.
death. Like wasn't there like ancient like not ancient, but like I'm pretty sure there were China has a history of doing that. Certain provinces in China. Like I remember I actually went to New York recently and I went to the Ripley's Believe It or Not museum and they
Hmm.
had like a room that was dedicated to like torture and shit. And like there were several torture devices from I believe China that like lying was like a capital punishment and these were the specific torture methods used to punish lying. And it was just
See,
like
like the
some ridiculously painful thing. Like
the thing about it, it's like who's deciding what's a lie, and like that is almost the definition of a slippery slope. Like somebody could bring that up and be right in a lot of
yeah,
ways,
yeah.
but at the same time I don't know, it's quite the balance. It's I don't know.
It's so fucked. It's such a delicate balance. Like I said, I would love to just look, actually read. Go like I'm probably gonna do it tonight, like midnight on Wikipedia. But like read
Google
about
Scholar,
yeah, exactly. Like
and you can find like
the
papers about it.
exactly that's what I need because like I'm super curious to know like what was the downfall of those societies that implemented those laws and shit. Like, and I'm obviously not suggesting that we fucking just tear up the First Amendment and just say fuck it, you can go to jail for certain shit. But like you should get fucking 6 months for posting a fake news article. Everyone at
Well,
the
I
Onion
feel
would be
like
fucked.
you should be allowed to say anything, but people like if somebody calls you out and they're like, "Hey, that shit's fake," and I don't know, it's like actually proven that you're really lying to people in some way. And I don't know, but it's like so impossible. Like even saying that, I'm like, this sounds so shitty. Like it sounds,
Yeah, exactly.
it's like I can see how
Exactly.
this would be used poorly,
Exactly. I can. It's
but the
exactly like the
fake
same thing.
news is so awful. It's like that will destroy us. It like the
Yeah.
concept that we can just deny things that we don't want to be true. We can just deny difficult truths by saying that it's fake news or whatever. Like difficult truths exist, and we can't just avoid them.
Right. And this is exactly what we were talking about in the first episode of like nothing would unite the country at this point. And that's like mainly because of fake news, to be honest. Like it's mainly because people believing false things about politicians and government and
And just the
politics and shit like
concept
that.
of being able to say like, "Oh, that's just fake news." Like I don't know, just
Yeah,
that
like
concept is so Oof.
Yeah,
And the people who say that kind of
it's so
stuff
bad.
are usually the people who are reading fake news. Like they're reading Breitbart articles. So I watched a video that was on InfoWars earlier. It wasn't even on InfoWars, but I like clicked
How'd
on
you
it and
rate
then it's not as good as it was before. But
it?
it was a sheriff walking through one of the detention centers in Arizona where they're keeping
Okay.
people, and he was like explaining like, see, these are the nice little tiny toothbrushes we give them, and like here's some crackers and all kinds of stuff, diapers,
I think
and
I've seen this. Did he drink from the toilet?
yeah, he drinks from the toilet, and he's like, see, it's not that bad. It's just there's a sink in the back of the toilet. They don't have to like go in it like a punch bowl. It's like that makes it any better. Like the fact that your sink, like when you flush a toilet, that doesn't. Oh, come on, bro. That's
Right.
oof.
Like,
That's a
yeah.
big oof.
You think that you do act like that's bacteria? We're talking about that same sink type setup that's in a room designed to hold like 15 people with like 50 people in it. Like using that to also shit in and piss
Oof.
in. Like
Oh,
it's
ugh.
just
I don't.
it's
Is that really the
absolutely absurd.
context? Ugh. That's awful. If
I
it's really
I
like there's
think
that
it
many
is.
people in a room and they have to like in front of everyone else, I hope it's. Ugh, that's pretty bad. If that's the case, that's
I'm like
pretty dehumanizing. If
pretty
that's the case, I don't know 100%, so I don't want to say, but I would believe that that's
yeah
what they're doing.
yeah yeah. That's because the main problem that I've heard. Also, not to double back, but like we got off Epstein mad quick. But to our like first little tangent, like how we were talking about how like anything to restrict fake news could so easily be used against the people for negative purposes. Like um the same thing could be said about people owning, like if you wrote a law that was like, yeah, the government, if you're like a billionaire CEO and you try to and you own a media company, the government can like take it over and like divest its assets and shit, so that like it's a group of people rather, it's like a, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like even that could so easily be used against people to be taking corporations away from people that they shouldn't be taken away from, if that makes sense.
I wonder
But
if if like I don't know that what if like almost you could use that argument for almost anything, like anything could
yeah,
be taken the wrong way and then used against the people, I guess.
yeah, true. But those are just two really specific examples of two really corrosive
Yeah,
problems.
that's very true.
Like,
But I mean, right now with fake news, we're seeing an example about how free speech can be used against the people. Like,
yeah, true, exactly. You're right. The way it's set up right now,
so like, and no
and
matter
like
what,
other countries
there's always going to be
maliciously,
risk.
like it'll look. I'm really not big on like the whole RussiaGate shit and all that, but like
Mhm.
I feel like it's pretty much established fact that like we know for a fact that like servers in Russia were operating like Black Lives Matter pages and shit, and that's fucking crazy, yo. If you really like, if you just think about that, that's fucking crazy. Not saying it's bad or good or whatever, but that's just like a
I think
fascinating thing that I
it's
guess we
definitely
live through.
bad.
Yeah, definitely bad, but it's just fascinating that we fucking live through that. Like, damn, dude,
I'm
that's
gonna
some
go
intense shit.
interfere in a Russian election. I'm gonna brush up on my Russian. I'm gonna
And
make a
just
bunch of
Russian
just
culture.
yeah, and
Like
just
that's
start
something
getting
that's so
really.
divisive. You need to be like, I don't know, like how do people? It's crazy that there's figures in history that are just so polarizing like that. Like I was thinking about, like I don't know,
I
like
think about how
like
there's video right now. This is just a pivot real quick about how
yeah,
There's a video that will always exist for as long as humanity continues to exist in the level we are now of Donald Trump saying that during the Revolutionary War, they took fucking airports. And even if the teleprompter stopped and that's what he freeballed, like that was him improvising, he improvised airports of all the things he could have said. I don't know. His
the things
brain
we
is
live through, dude.
mush.
Yo, and like somebody said it perfectly. Somebody was like, because like, did you see them ask him about that? Like when he was boarding like a helicopter or some shit, like in a press pool. They
Mhm.
were like, "Yo, what was that?" Like, there weren't airports in Revolutionary War, and he was like, Oh yeah, like what had happened was it was raining like so hard, and like the teleprompter was hard to see, and like I think the water messed with it, and like it cut out for a second, so like I didn't have my teleprompter, and somebody was like, "Are you fucking telling me we're being ran by somebody with like the intellectual capabilities of fucking Ron Burgundy, who like can only read what's on the fucking
Yeah.
teleprompter or nothing else?" I was like, "Holy
Oh.
fucking
Like the
shit!"
most generic speech that he obviously didn't write, like just about
Oh my god.
platitudes of the Revolutionary War
Oh my
that he knew
god.
nothing about. He knew none of those facts moments before and immediately forgot them after saying them.
Unbelievable. Like he had a gaff today because like he did have you seen like he's doing something with like the people that are on like the waiting list for like a liver transplant or some shit? Like he's trying to like expedite that process for people or some shit.
Yeah, and he said something about like a good liver goes in your heart or something like that.
Yeah.
He like
Yeah.
was
And honestly
spoke in a weird way.
it's so funny. It's like, dude, you could ask him right now what's the function of a human liver, and I would fucking pay so much money to hear him describe that. I think that'd be fucking gold. I
Yeah,
think
I
that would be
couldn't do
gold.
it. I don't think he could do
I
it.
don't think he could. I honestly don't think he could. He'd be like, your liver. Everybody knows what your liver does. It processes things. It has a very important job in the gut region. So like, I can
Oh.
hear it already. So
And
funny. But like you said,
everybody's freaking out about Angela Merkel. Have you seen any of that?
dude, I have read shit about it, but I haven't seen any like footage of it.
I saw
Like,
the footage.
is
It's
she trembling? Is she?
yeah, she's like it's definitely a little weird. But it's like so people in other countries are realistic enough to like freak out about their president doing that. But like if
Wait,
Trump
what
started
body part is
vibrating during
shaking?
a fucking thing, he would just say like, "Oh yeah, there was an earthquake or like some shit
Literally,
happened," and
what
everyone would
part of
just
her body
like
is
it was like
shaking?
everything. It was like she was just it was like trembling kind of like she was having tremors or something. I don't know. It
That's
definitely looked a
so
little
weird.
weird, and her response was
More
just like,
than
"There's
her
nothing to worry
hands.
about."
More than her hands.
Yeah, more than her hands, like her shoulders or legs. She was like definitely full body trembling.
Oh
Everyone
my
definitely
god.
noticed. You could like see people
And,
noticing.
and she's done it
Bro,
like
I
multiple
watched that
times.
airport thing like 100 times to view like the 100% Trump supporters in the background, like what each of their faces is doing, and it's gold. Like
Really,
they all know. They all know. I feel like everybody who supports Trump knows that it's just a meme. It's just a big
dude.
meme to them.
I would fucking. It would be a fucking. This is crazy. This would be a fucking epic prank. But like, what do you have to do to get behind him on camera in a rally? Like, how
Pay a
how
bunch of money.
really? You have
Yeah,
to pay
definitely.
money. You
Definitely
think
money
facts?
and be like a hardcore Trump supporter. And
Fuck.
I
What a
heard like he
prank.
gave VIP seats to Republican donors and stuff like that, and it was kind of controversy because you are not supposed to do that.
Remember
Like
when like
VIP seats.
Remember when like they moved two girls because they weren't like smiling and enthusiastic enough behind him? Do you remember that?
I don't, but I believe it.
Dude,
That
do you have
definitely
your
sounds.
computer? You should Google that. I'm pretty sure that happened. I just think it would be hilarious to like do jump through whatever hoops you need to get behind him at a rally and then just do some meme worthy ass shit behind him. They'll probably immediately move you, but like what that who gives a fuck? The meme's already secured. The bag is secured at that point.
They kicked out girls for coughing. I think
Uh
that was the first thing that came up.
or it was like move two girls or two people, they weren't smiling or enthusiastic enough and they got moved behind, like moved from behind him, or they were like told, like somebody goes up
Oh
to him
wait,
and
no,
says
no,
something.
this was another thing during the interview on ABC News with whatever that guy's Stephanopoulos or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, he started talking about something that like he shouldn't have been talking about. Everyone thinks, and like one of his
Okay.
staffers went like like to give him a little signal, and Trump just like got pissed and kicked him out. And I like
That's
don't
fucking
I don't think
hilarious.
that he noticed that he was trying to give him a signal. Honestly, I think he was literally just pissed because he coughed, and he was like, "Why would you cough so loud during the interview?"
He's about to like spill the beans on Area 51, yo. And they're like,
Have you seen the meme going around of Storm Area 51 or whatever?
no, people are trying to like run in there.
Yeah, like they can't stop us all at once. That's some stupid meme.
Oh shit,
The trip
that's
off this
fucking
army
gold.
will be there.
Holy shit, that's so funny. I mean, oh my god. I hope they do it. Fucking
What would the
fucking
government do? Do you think they wouldn't just mow people down? Do you think they would? Do you think they would if we got like 1,000 people to just go to Area
just
51? Would they start mowing us down as we
ent-
approach? That's very interesting to think about,
demand
honestly.
entry, dude.
Start climbing the
Holy
fence,
shit.
like shoot us. What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Ten
just saying,
thousand
fuck it.
people.
We need to know. We need to know. Humanity needs to know. You think they would just start mowing people down, dude? If they started mowing people down, yo, I'd be like, yo, y'all actually do have some type of spaceship technology y'all are willing to hide because, like, how could you defend that?
Ooh, that's. I'm like way more interested now that we've talked about it.
Bro, let's sign up. Fuck it. They ain't gonna start shooting us if they don't. Imagine if they were like, yeah, you guys can come in and they just have like some like busted ass like rail gun that they're trying to work on. They're like, yeah, we don't have any alien technology. We're just like,
Yeah, they probably don't, to be
just
honest.
like, we're just like heavily underfunded, bro. Like, my
I'd
wife
probably bet
made
it's like
me like,
nuclear stuff, honestly. If anything, like stuff related to
yeah, like,
nuclear research, because they like dropped a
yeah,
bunch of bombs in Nevada. I was reading earlier about how Nevada is like only a little bit of the state government owns the land, and most of it is federal land. So like they have no say if they get fucking nuked during like nuke testing. They don't get a say in that. Like they can just nuke federal land and they can't say shit. I think it's
yeah,
either Nevada or Arizona
dude,
that has
that's
the most federal land. Like, and you look at the map, and it's like just these tiny dots of like these are the state parts, and everything else is just federal land.
bro. We need to storm Area 51. Yeah, I'm on board.
I feel that. I feel that.
I'll die for this shit. I'll die for this shit. It's so funny.
Yo, do you have a
Fuck.
Switch?
I do have a Switch.
Did you hear about the Switch Lite?
Yeah. Sounds like we're talking about just a light.
Yeah.
Do you have a
No,
Switch? Yeah. Yeah. Fucking. I guess it's cool, yo. I would buy it if I didn't already have a Switch. To be
but
honest.
it doesn't. You can't even hook up to your computer. I feel like that's super whack.
Yeah,
Or
that's
your
bogus. But
computer, your TV, or whatever. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm
and
saying.
they definitely didn't. Like, I don't know. I feel like that technology doesn't cost that much, and they just didn't put it in to incentivize people to buy the Switch.
Yeah, that could be true. But to be honest, I think they're looking at data that says nobody plugs it into their TV.
Really?
I think so. I personally, maybe I'm just saying that because I personally never do, but dude, I never plug my shit into the TV. Once fucking every blue fucking moon when people come over and want to play like fucking Mario Kart or some random shit on their 2 player. Otherwise, dude, everything is handheld and I just play sitting on my couch playing random shit.
Maybe
They
that's
actually
it
have
then.
good games coming out for Switch though. But that's what I'm
They
saying.
did
So like
they
if I what's up?
they just left out some other stuff too. Like they left out Rumble. They left out like
Yeah.
motion stuff. I don't know, like random little things. I
Yeah.
feel like they really gutted it.
Did they put a price point on it?
200. Kind of pricey. 200 is you could
Yeah,
just
to be
save up with
honest,
the
that's
Switch.
expensive. To be honest, that's expensive. I thought it was gonna be like 125 ish.
Yeah, exactly. That would be way
If it was
more
100
reasonable.
bucks, yo, ooh, those shits would
Ooh,
be
yeah,
flying
no,
off the
they'll
shelf.
fly off the shelves for sure.
Yeah, I thought it was cheaper than that, but yeah, 200 is a lot, dude. You get like a fucking PS4 for 200 bucks. So why the fuck would you?
Really?
Yeah, hell yeah,
About to
use
do that.
PS4 shit. Base PS4, not like a Pro or anything. It's just like 200 bucks. I
Yeah.
wouldn't pay anything more than that for one.
Yeah.
Granted, I have. You know what's crazy, dog? This is crazy. Shout out to Sony for this, yo. I have. Think about the last generation of consoles and how many problems there were with like the launch editions of those shits. Yo,
Mhm.
I have a day one PS4, yo, that has so many fucking hours on it. And yes, that shit sounds like a muscle car, but like it still fucking is A1, yo. Like
I have
launch
a
edition
PS3 that I still play. It's the
day
old
one.
big one. Like Sony they did some stuff right.
Yeah, for sure.
Didn't
Like
I
remember
feel
how
like
much of a
all the first
sag all the
generation of 360s red ringed by now. Like I feel like those were not very well built, and the reason that they won is because they were more cheaply built, so they got into more households. But I feel like the PS3 was a way more well built console.
yo, like it's amazing. I feel like gaming is the only like ecosystem where you could push a product out that had the percentage of failure rate that like an Xbox 360 did, and like not lose all of your customer base. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit probably happened to like. You think that shit happened to more than 50% of Xbox 360s? Shit happened to me. I know
It
that
was
for a
such a
fact.
common thing. Like you would hear people talking about it. I didn't have a
Dude, like
360 until very late in like the cycle of that console, so I feel like they had worked it out by then,
I
and I
would
ended
be
up
interested
selling
to
it.
know what percentage of those consoles bricked. If I would think that shit was a wild percentage, that it was such a big thing. Like, dude, people were
I
fucking
think
wrapping
they
their
didn't
consoles up
have
in
like
towels.
enough ventilation in it, so it would overheat very easily. Like that was the big thing about
People,
it.
and there was a towel trick. You wrap it in towels and just let that shit extra overheat and like hard reset and shit. Like,
Did you
what a
have?
disaster! I can't.
This
What's
is
up?
like super random. Did you have a way of fixing a CD that was broken? Like when you were a kid, like before the internet, like you had a
Dude,
CD, you wanted to play a
yeah,
PlayStation game, it was too scratched or like something happened to it.
yeah.
You're trying to fix it. Did you have any secrets to do that?
Yes, I would put toothpaste on the disc.
Okay, yeah, that's a common one. I wonder
Does that even
why.
work?
I have no
With
idea.
modern
I bet
knowledge,
it
do we
doesn't.
know if
I
that
bet
works or
it
not?
doesn't.
Or does it just further damage the disc?
I would do that. If it was like real desperate, I would get to the point where I was like, all right, I'm gonna try some experimental shit and like see
Just
if
put
I could
like
discover
ketchup.
something. Yeah, for real.
Yo, it's crazy. Gaming has come so far. Yo, I watched a video on YouTube that was like evolution of Doom graphics throughout the time, and it's like it's kind of alarming, honestly. Like how far graphics have come in like 20 years.
People are like making games in games now. Like I saw that someone like somehow made it so you can play Minecraft in a chest.
It's like
Like I don't know, like things are
even like
getting so wild.
yeah,
VR
even
is
like
like going to be full of games in games. Like that'll be
fuck
imagine
yeah,
putting on a VR headset and going into a VR arcade.
literally, literally.
Like
We'll do
what
that.
is that?
We'll do that. Literally. That's literally a fucking exhibit meme where it's like, I heard you like games. So I put a game inside your game so you can game while you game. Like,
Damn.
this shit is crazy. Yeah. I mean, they did that with Uncharted 4 too. Like, I don't know if you played that shit, but like, during a cutscene, because it's a Naughty Dog game, they fucking,
Oh,
the
you
characters
play the
like
first level of Crash, right?
crash. Yeah, you sit down and it's like actually PS1 Crash.
Yeah,
It's a game
yeah.
inside of a game.
That's awesome that they were able to do that. It's their property. Like that's so cool.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's like fucking actually genius level shit to
Do you
do that.
think cuz thinking of Crash made me think of Last of Us 2, which is coming out, which is a very hyped game, which then
Fuck
made me
yeah.
think of Death Stranding, another very hyped game. Do you think
Yeah,
that
hell yeah.
they're going to live up to the hype?
I think both of those games will actually. I think The Last of Us is the fucking dunk, yo. That shit is gonna be incredible.
Yeah. I bet you're
I
right about
there's
that.
fucking there's fucking I'm hyped for that. Nothing. I think I think honestly, out of the three like fucking absolute bangers that are about to come out, which is like The Last of Us 2, Death Stranding, and like Cyberpunk, like I think Death Stranding is probably most likely to disappoint just because it's going to be weird as fuck. And I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of casual
I
gamers
think
aren't
the
going to give it any fucking
gameplay of
attention
that
in
will be really
time.
fun.
Yeah, did you see that gameplay trailer?
Nothing too recent. I just saw the one where it's just like him running through a bunch of stuff and he like sneaks a little bit and then it's like a cutscene or something.
Yeah. Have you seen like him bring up like the item menu?
No, I haven't seen that one. I'll have to check it out.
Oh shit! I'm gonna send you this as soon as we go off live. Yo, that shit's crazy. It's like it's very honestly, it gives me like in obviously just a completely different setting. It's almost I want to say like fucking Breath of the Wild-ish, yo. To be honest,
Yeah, I bet it's gonna
like it
be
seems.
open world and like really fun in that regard. I just feel like
Yeah.
the story might not be all there, or like it might be
You don't
very
think so?
convoluted and like
Yeah,
weird.
hell yeah.
Because I don't know.
That's how I like my
I've been
shit, bro.
reviewing the Metal Gear Solid story altogether, and like 5 is a really weird piece of that puzzle. The game is amazing. It's like the perfected version of that kind of a game, definitely. The story is just kind of very strange. Like I don't know. It's like all
What
the
is
other
it?
parts, because like in the Metal Gear Solid series, it's like everything else in the story is filled in. It's like the earlier there's some games like 3 was all the way back here as a prequel, and then like 1 and 2 are up here, and it's like it's supposed to fill in like what happened in between these games essentially. And it's just I don't know, I feel like it did a really weird job of doing that. It's people could debate about it, but I just, and like he had a co-writer with him on the games up till 3, so I feel like Kojima needs somebody to rein him in sometimes, because I feel like he just kind of goes off the
Yeah, you
wall.
could be right.
And did you play Metal Gear Solid
You could be
5?
right. I played the honestly very early. Like I picked it up and played maybe an hour total time. It is good as fuck.
You
Don't
should
get me wrong.
definitely get into it.
Good as fuck.
It's definitely worth it.
Yeah. Did you ever play Red Dead 2?
Nah, I don't have a PS4.
That ain't on PC yet?
Nah. When it is, I'll definitely get it.
Yeah, Rockstar be bullshitting with their PC shits.
It's always late.
Rockstar be weird, yo. Rockstar's a weird development company. We could have a whole podcast on Rockstar, low key.
Yeah, they're really solid. Are they? I feel like I've read articles about they have pretty tough crunches on their
Yeah,
workers.
yeah, yeah. Which is what I'm saying. We could have a whole podcast on fucking Rockstar, yo.
Yeah,
What a fucking behemoth game company, honestly.
and like the whole concept of crunching in gaming is kind of fucked up, but it's like
Fuck yeah.
some people want to be there. Like some people they're like super into it on that level where like they just want to work on it. Like it's like a piece of art to them that they want to see finished and done well. But like so
Right.
I feel like let the people who want to work on it super hard work on it super hard and let the other people go or whatever. I don't know. I feel like it should
Yeah.
definitely be a little bit more I don't know, democratic in that
Especially be,
regard. Because
especially
you
because
wouldn't want
like
to stop someone if they're really like they want to be there or whatever. Like I don't know.
especially I don't know, even I don't know, the whole crunch shit in game, like crunch in game development, dude, like to me the more time that goes on, dude, it makes less and less sense why developers are so focused on crunching and hitting certain dates and having the game,
That
especially
yeah.
when it's the final release. We're talking about a games landscape, bro, where it's like, dude, games launch in unfinished states all the fucking time.
And
And like
people
if you
hate, like I feel like don't rush your
people
game out.
hate that shit. People hate that shit, and I agree. Don't rush your game up. But my point is that like, and I don't want to say this to encourage like to like make it seem like I want developers to push out unfinished games. But my point is like, dude, the crunch is less necessary when a game can bounce back from a shitty release. It puts you in the hole, but like better than fucking brutalizing your workers essentially.
Yeah.
Like like think about a game like all right, like Anthem is a game is an excuse is a example of a game that fucking launched in a shitty broken state and like is not going to be able to bounce back from. But like
No.
look at fucking No Man's Sky. Like
I think it
that
still
game,
suffered a lot. Like a lot of
it's
people are not going to play it. Like I
of
don't know.
course,
I
of
didn't buy
course,
it
but
within
it
the
still
window
has
where I
like
would have.
no, but now, but they've got the game at a point where they have a stable player base and fan base through updates and shit. Like
True. So like for the people who
hitting
are
a
there, that's
specific
dope.
date. Yeah,
But like
like for the people that are playing it now, I get it's fucked. Like I'm saying,
I
I
was
don't want to.
super interested in buying that game when it was like being hyped and all that, but then when all the reviews were shitty, I kind of just didn't want to. And now I hear that it's dope now, and that's cool. But
Like, are you like
I'm
you
not
wouldn't buy it?
interested.
You wouldn't buy it now
There's
for like
like
a
more
discounted
games now.
price?
Like there's just other games now. Why would I go back to this game? Like there's so many games. I don't know. I'd have
Well,
to be particularly interested.
In No Man's Sky case, I actually feel like the premise, now that it's been honed down and is actually like a functioning game, I feel like the premise is still extremely interesting, and I would play it. Like if it's like a PlayStation free game of the month, I'm downloading the fuck out of that, and
Yeah.
I'm just gonna play it.
So if it's for
Fuck
free,
it.
you'll play it.
Yeah, but everything's for free now. I'll probably
That's
fucking
true.
spend money on microtransactions. If I get your game for free and then I
What do you
enjoy it
think
for
about
30 hours,
microtransactions?
I I think they're
Because that
super
they're like in court right now
predatory.
in Europe.
Yeah, I feel like it's super predatory in most examples, but in the same sense, if I get your game for free, I have no problem if I get enjoyment out of the game paying money for microtransactions to like give my money to the developer in some way. Like I got Rocket League for free and I spend money on the microtransactions because it's like I got the game for free. I know it's not $0 to make a game. Like I know you guys need to eat. Developers need to eat.
Yep.
And if the
But
game's for fucking free.
they don't implement like surprise mechanics in their like
Yeah.
microtransactions,
True.
do they? Like you buy a skin and you get that
Oh
skin,
no.
right? No?
No.
There's boxes that are
No.
random.
It's randomized.
Oof, that's But I don't know, like it's not necessarily bad, but oof, it's like it does. They've had
It's
people,
gambling.
yeah. So you think that
It's
for sure.
gambling. It's
So
pulling a
what do you
slot
think
machine
that should
lever.
mean though? Because a lot of these games are like directed at children.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a big problem.
Like
Like, you know what else is fucked up? It's like kind of similar like that. Is like, dude, like we're at a point where people just give their phones to like their kids to like fucking kill time and just not have to deal with them and
yeah.
like it's crazy how predatory like ads are in mobile games. Like
For real?
talk,
Oh my, that's a
talk
good
about a
point.
game inside of a game, bro. That's a game. They'll be like, "Yo, try it. It's so easy. Look, this is how you do it. Put your finger here, put it there." It's like, dude.
Yeah.
And then and
No.
like because the mobile game was free, like literally like there's an ad every time your kid plays fucking Temple Run and dies. An ad pops up that's like trying to get them to play a different game. It's like that has to be damaging to a toddler brain, yo. It has to be.
Like
Has to be.
I was wondering about the ads that you see where it's like what you're saying, where it's like somebody playing the game very badly or something, and it's like
Right.
kind of tempting you to like get it or whatever. And I always wondered who these geared towards, and it's definitely just like children. Like if I don't know, I could definitely like. Did you ever click on those ads that was like it was like a target and it was like moving at the top of the page, and it's
Dude.
like you throw
Fuck
something
yeah.
at it. And
Fuck
imagine
yeah.
being a
When I
kid
was
in
little.
today's landscape where it's like those kind of games that
Dude.
they actually exist and like you can actually download it and get more ads and like spyware potentially on your fucking computer or whatever, or like
Dude,
phone or whatever it is.
I
I don't know,
read
man.
I read an article today on Vice that said there's a piece of malware floating out there right now that's like the biggest data dump like in tech history. Like it's a file that looks like it's 43 megabytes, and when you download it, it's like 4.3 petabytes or some shit. I was like, that's a million gigabytes 4 times over, bruh.
That's wild.
From what looks like a 43 megabyte download. That's
That's a
gonna
meme. That's a meme right there.
my apartment's gonna catch on fire, bruh. You're gonna burn my building down. My
Damn. It's just a super high resolution photo of Donald Trump.
Dude,
like 60 million pixels or whatever.
Like, yo,
that would be a huge photo. It's the size of Africa.
Literally. That's what type of maniac crafts that, dude? What type of
that's the meme shit.
maniac?
Meme hacker.
Dude, you're like, yo.
That's one thing I won't miss during the apocalypse.
I can't think how funny is that to think of a hacker somewhere telling his boys like hitting a joint like, yo, never gonna believe what I did last night, dog. I made a file. It's like 45 megabytes, some shit. It's a fucking picture, this high resolution of the size of Australia. Of my nuts, bro. like, fuck. That person needs to be thrown in jail, dog. I don't know for how long. I don't know what's the moral or ethical thing to do in that situation, but fuck.
Yeah, that's oof. What do you? Oh, speaking of moral and ethical things to do, what do you think of the new trend of licking and like spitting in foods at the grocery store and closing it again?
All I know is the person who made that malware and the person who licks the ice cream should honestly serve the same exact punishment. Like it should be like 20 years in jail, 25 years. Like, it should be something wild. Nah, I don't know if it should be that long. I'm just kind of making jokes. But like, yo, that shit is fucking disgusting. What the fuck?
It is very disturbing. But
honestly, though, somebody said some shit that was true. Not to cut you off, but they were like, "Yo, I feel like a lot of these videos are fake because like a lot of these products have safety seals that aren't being snapped in these videos."
Ice cream does not have a safe. Oh, true. But you could really rip that shit off. I don't know, and then put it back.
Sometimes they have the plastic going around the lid, so you have to rip cut the plastic or tear the plastic. And like I saw a video of like what did somebody do? Like there was a person that gargled the mouthwash and spit it back in the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yo, mouthwash has a safety seal, and you didn't crack it. We know this. We know that. And like, I think somebody did it to like a sweet tea too. Like they drank a sweet tea and spit it back in the bottle, and it was
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, the sweet teas have like the little peel lids. Yo, we didn't see you do it.
No,
So like, what's
they
happening?
don't. I don't think that's true. I don't think sweet teas. I used to get those
Really?
gallons. Nah, dude. I think you just the only thing is like the
The snap.
breakies on the cap. Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's no paper, so you could have just broke that.
True.
You wouldn't
True.
necessarily know. I don't know. Ugh, ugh. I feel like
Yeah,
it's like it's
disgusting.
definitely disgusting, but
Disgusting.
at the same time, think about the other crimes that we give people 20 years for, and like some of the
Yeah, I mean,
lesser stuff out there. Like I don't know, there's some
dude, Brock
like you know
Turner
that
served fucking 6 months
yeah,
in prison.
exactly.
Like, what the fuck are we talking?
Like that
Like,
Dave Chappelle thing of what is 15 really? Like I feel like
yeah,
there's some similar
yeah,
kind of comparisons to be made with like the kind of prison sentences that people have gotten for
yeah.
things that are I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if
Nah,
20
I'm
years
definitely
is
not.
necessarily the right.
Nah, I'm definitely cracking jokes. I definitely wouldn't say that. Like, honestly, most of these people, not all, are like just dumb kids who probably deserve just like fucking.
Yeah, they're juveniles. But
Yeah,
now
like
it's going to be like a viral trend is what I'm mad about. It'll die out in like a month, hopefully
no,
less,
honestly
but
though, like if I ever saw that happening in public too, I'm probably gonna get a fight right in the aisle, yo. Like I'm probably gonna
it's
resort
like
to violence.
if you saw an ISIS person in the street, it's like the similar start fighting.
I would probably be
You'd
nicer
be
to
nicer to
somebody
the
in
ISIS
ISIS.
guy. You'd be like, "Hey, man, I think that what you're doing is like wrong. Like, I feel like you gotta turn your life around." But you see somebody licking an ice cream in the
I'm
aisle,
like,
it's like on site.
yo, you're beyond.
You're beyond saving.
Yeah,
It's
you're beyond rehabilitation. Like the ISIS guy is not. To be honest, like you feeling like you can just do this to people's food and tamper like that? You're
for real.
broken. You're broken.
You're
Something's not.
broken.
Neurons are not firing correctly. The ISIS guy just has an extreme point of view. He's lived a wild life. He's seen some shit, presumably.
There's
Like
no
it's
moral justification for what the ice cream person is doing.
none. There's no perspective where you're like, that's funny. Like what the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yo, these are people who. When's the last time these people have been tested for STDs? The people doing this, if they're actually doing it, like. You do understand, like, you could kill a person. And I know I sound like a crotchety old man saying that, but, like, yo, what if you just ate a Reese's and then you lick somebody's fucking vanilla ice cream and then they give it to their kid who's allergic to peanut? Like, do you not
That
think?
was a dead child on your hands.
Yeah, yeah. Like, and I know that's being extreme, but, like, what the fuck? This shit happens. Crazier shit happens, yo. We have World Star. Look at the shit that happens on crazy ass shit. See the guy in the bagel shop today, bro?
Oh, I see. Yeah, I saw. I didn't click on it,
See
so I
that
didn't
shit?
hear it. What did he say?
Oh my god. Bro, it's actually fucking hilarious. It's probably one of the funniest videos that's gone viral in a while, but it's like this fucking misogynistic dude who's like flipping out on women in a bagel shop, yo, and like one of the woman like essentially holding the camera is like, dude, why are you the video starts and she's like, dude, why are you degrading all these women? And he's like holding a newspaper. Dude, the guy is like 4 feet 10 inches tall, yo, dead ass. And he slams the piece of paper on the ground and he's like, I have to degrade women because on a dating website, a woman said that any man under 5 feet tall should just die. What type of shit is that?
Yo, it's like that fucking Tinder guy at the Trump rally
Yeah,
with the like he's losing his voice, screaming about how he got kicked off of Tinder, beat by Hillary Clinton
yeah.
because of his MAGA hat or something.
And it's like, yo, and this guy and the woman is like, nobody here said that though. And he's like, but I'm talking about women in general. What the
Ugh,
fuck
what
type of
an
shit is that?
awful,
Why do we
awful
allow
perspective
that?
to have. Ugh.
And yo, like, it's hilarious. You gotta watch it. And then he gets in a fight. He gets like choke slammed, and then like somebody got a video of him after where like they're like, sir, just leave, just get out of here. And they finally hand him his
Just
bagel,
leave.
and like a woman worker behind the desk is starts laughing at him as he grabs his bagel, and he's like, you fucking think it's funny? And he like slams his bagel on the ground, and he's like, I don't even want this piece of shit bagel anymore, yo.
Oh
And
my
they're like,
god.
sir, just please leave. And he like starts making another point, and then he's like, actually, give me my fucking breakfast, and goes and picks up his bagel, dog, and walks
Oh,
out with it. And I'm like, yo, how tight were you eating that bagel in your fucking car, dog? How mad?
In a way, in like the subtlest way, like 1%, like I feel bad for that guy.
Dude, 100%. I was actually thinking about this too. I was like, dude, that is so fucked. Cause honestly, like, right, like the sentence, I guess, if he really read that on a dating site, I guess is fucked up, and he's under 5 feet. Like, I guess
Yeah,
you could
I
take it as
mean,
this woman's
he's
calling
probably a
for
piece of shit, but like
genocide.
a lot of stuff probably brought him to being there. But I don't know.
No question. It is kind of fucked up. And again, like the dog piling, like you just read the replies, and it's just like
Yeah,
Twitter. So it's like,
it is
and
a
it's like, yo,
objectively funny thing, but at the same time, it's like, damn, and I don't even
I
want to
feel
feel
for him.
bad for him because it's a bad look, but it's like I do.
Yeah, and like I do kind of feel for him. You're right in that sense. Like he's obviously not well adjusted, but that doesn't mean
Yeah,
he's
it doesn't
not
excuse what he's
without
saying in
the
any way, but it's like at that
yeah.
point, like I don't know, it's like an animal backed into the corner, like snapping his jaws. Like it's like he feels like he can't like give up these points now that he's so heated already. Like if anything, when he gets back to his car, he might reflect a little bit, but it's like in that moment, it's ugh, ugh,
and it's
ugh.
and
It's
it's
like his
fucked
perspective. Ugh.
and it's fucked because like I was
Way
saying
less
this and I
pity
was
for
like,
the
yo,
Trump guy who got kicked off Tinder.
and it's like the fucked up thing is too is I was like, damn, honestly, like the fact that this happened, like the even more fucked up part about it is like, yo, at this point, the responsible thing to do, I feel like, would be like, yo, we gotta fucking like watch this guy. Like, if this guy buys ammunition within the next 3 days, like, people need to be alerted, yo.
I feel like he needs
Like,
help. We need to make mental health
yeah,
like therapy. One, we need to destigmatize it. Like people will yell like go to a
yes,
therapist is like an insult to people and that. I feel like that's not a good thing to
yes,
do. And I feel like it should be
yes.
like free. People should our world is fucked up. This modern
True,
world, we are not
true,
designed for it in any way. I feel like therapy should
true.
be free. Everyone's
Literally,
fucked up. It
speak on
should
it.
and it definitely
Speak on it.
shouldn't, yeah. Mostly the stigma is
Facts.
pretty fucked too.
All facts. All facts. All right, yo, we should probably wrap it up. We've been going for a minute.
Oh, for real.
Minute, hot minute, hot minute. All right, yo, this has been another fucking wonderful live episode. We covered a lot of shit.
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
laughed a lot.
We're probably
I
gonna do
laughed
another
a
one
lot.
on Friday. Are you down for that?
Yeah, Friday
Because
this
I'll
weekend.
be in Maine. See what it's like
Oh
there.
yeah, that'll be dope. That'll be dope. What are you gonna go from your phone in Maine? You think?
I think I might have my laptop with me, so I
Oh,
might
you're gonna
go off
bring your
that.
shit.
Hell yeah.
Word. All right, yo, we'll check back in
Later.
later.